some of the best careers for a person with dyslexia? Congratulations! Your son or daughter has successfully entered into the 10th grade. As a parent, now is the time to talk to him or her about their interests in terms of a career and preparing them for their future to go to college or university or even a trade school. 10th grade is the opportune time to begin volunteering and get involved in community service if your child hasn't done that yet. My daughter volunteered at City of Hope, which was a great stepping stone to get her into a university, which helped her get into the nursing program. And now she's working at UCLA in critical care. So volunteering and community service will help your child hone in on a career of interest, and it gives back to the community, and it serves as experience that will greatly contribute to college applications. With college entrance exams being done in 11th grade, now is the time to encourage your child to pursue a suitable career, suitable major, with options to volunteer in their field of interest. So this may pose as a daunting task for parents of dyslexic children. However, dyslexia is a learning difference that has a number of approaches and techniques for children to employ along with the help of their children, of their teachers and their parents. When it comes to talking about making big decisions like career choices for your child, he may be as worried as you are. But this is important to instill confidence in your son's abilities rather than highlighting the fact that he has a learning difference. Having an open line of communication with your child is the best way to tackle a learning difference together. This is the time to focus on your child's area of strength and help him form a decision that will be a career path that's going to be interesting, that he's going to be proud of, and perhaps even develop a strong passion for. So today I want to discuss with you some majors that dyslexic students can select for a career. These suggestions are merely a guide for parents who find themselves wanting to support their kids in a special way regarding career goals. Careers are long-winded and can often be unpredictable for many. So treat college as a foundation rather than a decision that's going to be set in concrete and define your child's life the rest of his or her life. Teaching, for me, is my third career, and I never would have dreamed I was going to leave retail to join a technology area to be a teacher. Anyway, career choices can be a life-altering decision, and oftentimes young adults feel very overwhelmed by the prospect of it all, for sure, especially with all the tests that are always happening. But this is where parents come in, and with your love and support, you help your child develop their point of view, and you provide the guidance they need to help them make the right decisions. High school counselors will talk to your child about career strengths suited to his or her personality. But you know your children best. Students should keep in mind the accomplishments that they have already achieved through the academic years. Choosing the right major will take patience and thought. Talk to the school counselor with your child in regards to selecting the right career path. Dyslexic children are intelligent and determined to try new things, even if they don't work. Some well-known creative people have been really good critical, analytical thinkers. So here are some fields that students can major in, even if they're dyslexic. Veterinarian school. Pursuing a career as a veterinary can be extremely rewarding for people who especially love animals. Does your child have an interest to work with animals? Does he or she have a love for animals? That would be a good start, but an interest in health science and also surgical care is also just as important. How about teaching? Many dyslexic people want to give back and teach in their field of interest. I have a friend who's dyslexic who is a PE teacher. Teaching is a great way to share experiences and knowledge And having a teacher that has experienced dyslexia can be very beneficial to others who struggle with reading, and that the challenges that exist in the diversity of students that enter the educational system every year. What about music? Does your child love music? There are a variety of degrees in music that can lead to successful careers in teaching. Not only teaching, but performing, composing, or music production. Many students choose to further their musical education by acquiring a master's in order to broaden their training and diversify their knowledge even more. And especially if you recognize your child loves music at an early age, that could be a good indicator of what kind of career that child should pursue. What about careers in art? The arts is an incredibly broad subject that can be pursued. Art schools have a diverse roster of majors for students to pursue that can lead to dance teachers, professional artists, photographers, illustrators, museum curators, and plenty more. The possibilities here in art are really quite endless and can definitely be catered to your child's interests. Art schools generally provide some leeway for students to discover the best areas for their skills to thrive and develop those skills into their passions. However, some of these majors require more of a focused application, like a portfolio or some form of experience in your child's chosen major. What about design? If you believe your child is artistic, there are many options. Whether it's interior design, architecture, computer coding, or science, even marketing, design has an application in plenty of careers and can be a great starting point to hone the skills and discover the area of expertise that will help your child thrive. An education in design will lead to students developing a professional portfolio of their work that will greatly aid in their quest to a world of job hunting. What about communication? If your son or daughter likes to read books, of course, on tape, audio tape, and write, of course, with text, speech to text, but is very good at expressing ideas verbally or non-verbally, then this may be a route for your child. Students can become motivational speakers, develop blogs, and even be hosts of podcasts. How cool is that? So finding success with dyslexia might seem impossible for many, but this thinking is dangerous and it can hinder a person. So the fact is, plenty of people have selected the right career paths with the right guidance and support, and you can be that support for your child. I personally have friends who have achieved success and that are dyslexic, and they are thriving in careers that may seem impossible to other people. The reality is that every case is different, and there are many ways and techniques to work around dyslexia in order to pursue the path your son or daughter may be interested in, but may feel at a disadvantage because of dyslexia. I know a woman who studied to be a lawyer. Now, law school can be an extremely daunting career path for a dyslexic student because the fact is it largely relies on reading and analyzing tons of text and cases in order to construct intricate and logical arguments. I was quite surprised when she told me she was dyslexic. But having dyslexia might appear to be against the nature of a dyslexic person's learning ability. However, because of the heavy emphasis on the processing of language and subsequently needing to reproduce it. This is the main concern for dyslexic students who have auditory processing, phonological processing deficits. So, however, this woman found her success through a phonics-based reading program very similar to what I use today. And she used music and I use music. So she was brilliant and she was determined, which is usually the case for most dyslexic people. Motivation can greatly help performance if your child is determined enough to pursue a career path. he or she can certainly find a way through the challenges, and be sure he or she gets assessed and gets those accommodations. Dyslexia can be extremely unmotivating and can adversely impact a student's confidence. But for the most important factor for a student's success is finding a learning style that dyslexic students excel in. I have another friend who is an ice carver. Some dyslexic people find that they are far more tactile and thrive visually. Again, the root of this is figuring out where your child's strength lies. Every child is different, and the learning strength can vary in a diverse group of students that enter the education system year after year. Rather than seeing dyslexia as a hindrance, this man was able to discover the area that he thrived in. Actually, he was going to be a chef, and his master chef saw him watching an ice carver and allowed him to pursue that as a trade. What a cool boss, right? Having visual and kinesthetic strengths, my friend John Rodriguez saw the shape or the image inside of a block of ice, and he could produce that shape in his ice carving. He found success on cruise ships, and he shares this passion with other dyslexic students today. John Rodriguez has authored a book called The High School Dropout That Went to Harvard. You should read it. This is why it's extremely important for parents to take a proactive approach to their child's learning and be aware of the areas of interest and strengths. Encouragement and positive reinforcement are some of the best way to motivate your child, especially when they have found something that they're very comfortable with. Recognizing these skills at a young age will lead to helping them discover their purpose in life. You may want to attend some support groups with other parents of dyslexic children. Support meetings are a great resource to learn from other points of view. You'll hear what techniques are used and what ideas are used which supported other parents' dyslexic children. There are many parents willing to share and connect with you. So there are two nationwide organizations I want to tell you about. They are the International Dyslexia Association and Decoding Dyslexia. Check them out. As your young adult prepares for college, remember that having dyslexia will not block him or her from achieving the dreams. It simply means that he or she will approach learning differently than his or her peers. But this does not mean that she will not succeed in her chosen path. Finding healthy coping techniques for overcoming dyslexia will help your child realize his full potential. And my prayer is that he or she will give back to his community. Thank you for listening, and I hope this has helped. If what I've shared has inspired you, check out our website at dyslexia-solutions.com and consider being one of our sponsors and making a small donation. Thank you, and God bless you.